Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to the Premier League South Africa Community Series. It's race number 4 here in February, and we're just getting started with the Elite Men's Race. Of course, brought to you by Galileo Infinity Insurance and presented by Garmin Tax. Let's get straight to the racing and see what's happening with the men's race.
Men's has started now, Max. It's a big field this morning again, over 150 riders just started. I saw our GC leader, David Humphries, signed on with 12 seconds to spare. So obviously doing a serious warm-up somewhere, or yeah, I was sitting here going, where's he? There we go, Jacques Leroux having a good start as well. We've got the big T in there as well. I saw we're riding with Travis Maverick Johnson at the moment. Really, there are 148 riders there starting at the moment.
So a great crew here this morning, and nice to see the guys getting involved here. The last race in our February series, and it's been such a joy to open it up to the public in the month of February. We're going to be doing the same in March. Entries are free, guys, get involved, but really exciting to see so many different countries taking part. We've seen the likes of Namibia. We've now got some riders coming in from Africa Rising as well, which is super exciting. So welcome to them. We'll be talking a bit about them a little bit later. Adrian Nyanshuti, 2-time Olympian, is here as well. He's based in Italy at the moment with his training team as well. So really cool to have him, obviously from Rwanda, and really cool to have him racing today. That's a big thing for the Africa Rising contingent. But some exciting times today. It's going to be interesting to see what happens out there. We've had the guys from Japan coming in. We know Namibia has been strong. South Africans are hitting it as well. We've had 1 or 2 from Australia and a couple from the USA as well.
USA, we've got Japan obviously on there, Canada, a big contingent from Canada. So obviously, you know, this is our morning, but they're still sitting at last night basically. They've just got home from work, some of them, and then they're racing in the evening. So it's, you know, it seems to be working out to get all the guys out. Kino, who was that from ASG, just attacked at the moment.
Absolutely. Henry Liebenberg now one of the top riders, under 23 SA champ on the marathon. So really cool to have him riding here today. You'll see the different statistics going across the screen as you watch. Top left hand side, you'll see the watts of the rider, referring to the rider on the right hand side of the screen. You'll see that little orange thumbs up right there next to him, doing 83 revs per minute at the moment, 177 beats per minute on the heart rate. They're currently 1.1 kilometers into the race, and they've been going for just under 2 minutes.
Yeah, 26 kilometers today. They drop down into the valley, you know, at the start now, and then it's flat along the valley, and then they've got that big climb at the end there. So, you know, the guys that know they're struggling on the climbs are going to have to try and attack in the valley, try and get away, and try and put some time between themselves and the climbers, because the guys, like we know Travis can climb. He's dangerous on the climb. We've got the guys like Danny Spence in there as well, also a brilliant climber. So, you know, the guys, the Avengers, the USC Avengers are leading the GC at the moment, but the Ruliers are breathing right down their neck. So it's going to come down to the line today. Who can get across the line in those top 3 places to get those bonus points? All
right, quickly before we go across to the ladies start, let's go quickly and have a look at the route for today. Alice is going to take us through that.
So there we go. It's like I said, 26 kilometers, only 145 meters of climbing. So it's not a lot, but the big climb right at the end, as you can see there, like I was saying, they drop down into the valley. That little bump there around about the aqueduct at I think it's at about 4 kilometer mark, which is nothing big. 2 sprint points, and then that big climb at the end there. So we're on the French wall today. Roule ma poule.
Roule ma poule.
We'll go with that one. So roule ma poule.
All right, let's get back to the racing quickly. Exciting times for us today, because not only are we running the final race number 4 here in our Premier League South Africa Community Series for February, but we're also doing a soft launch of the Galileo Infinity Spot Racing Team today. That, of course, a women's racing team here in South Africa. Galileo Risk and Infinity Insurance, obviously our title sponsor here at the Premier League South Africa, and have been since April last year. What an incredible support we've had from Hayden Simpson and his team. But in the studio today, and we're going to try and go across to them quickly now and just get a quick look before we go to their start line. Let's go and have a look at Studio 2, and we'll see there the girls from the Galileo Infinity Spot Racing Team. On the left-hand side, you'll see Sam Sanders. She's the new addition to the team this year. In the middle, of course, their team captain and master in charge, that is Teresa Rolfe. And then on the right-hand side, Kim Lacourt. So those are the 3 ladies joining us in studio today.
You think maybe they could wave?
No, they can hear us, but I think they're just focusing. I think they're about to start as well. So, ladies, good morning, good luck, and we're going to go across to the start line now, Alistair, and have a look and get ready for the ladies start.
So still a minute to go for them. We've got an attack at the moment on the men here. One of the guys from Canada, I just got Boniface from Canada. He seemed to put in a bit of a attack there. Calvin Johnson coming across now as well. We've got Haig as well. They're coming across. Brendan van Eeden there. We know Brendan can climb as well. Very good climber there. We've got a big attack now from Calvin Johnson. I don't know what, somebody's obviously chasing him because he's just launched a huge attack.
All right, let's get across to that start line of the ladies. About to get started. And remember, the ladies going off in their own batch. They start 5 minutes behind the men. Expected racing time for the elite men today between 33 and 35 minutes. For the ladies, between about 37 and 40 minutes today. So that's what we're expecting out there. That's the sort of time the winners will do. And of course, most riders should be across the line under the 50-minute mark. So it's going to be really, really fast. Again, today's program dedicated to our Galileo Infinity Spot Racing team. Really cool to have the opportunity and the privilege of launching their team in 2021. A soft launch here today in studio, and then this weekend we'll be going out to Valverde Eco Estate, and what we'll be doing there is having a little social get-together. Obviously, all COVID-19 restrictions observed and compliant, but it's going to be under 100 people. Guys are going to get to go and ride around the cradle, whether on road bikes or mountain bikes, and then a short little breakfast and a coffee before they go home. So that's going to be really exciting. Right now, though, watching Amy McDougall. Remember Amy riding for that Dormakaba team last year, successful partnerships with Robin de Groot, and this year she's gone out on her own. She's looking in good form, and she's quite excited about the season ahead.
Yeah, it's Amy obviously also quite new to our series, and I don't know how long she's been riding on Zwift as well, but says she's really taken to the game. A lot of these pro riders that obviously use Courtney Webb, I see as there as well.
Danger.
But, yeah,
Danger.
And she's just been selected for the South African team to go and race in Egypt, which is great. But a lot of these pro riders, they seem to battle a bridge to bridge that gap when they first started riding at Zwift, and Amy's taken it to it quite quickly. I mean, I think she was second last week, obviously unofficially. Amy, you're still not on Zwift Power. I keep sending her a message every week, like, are you actually going to get registered? So Amy, one of those great riders. Kim LeCourt there, I see there. Courtney Webb is there, dangerous. We know Courtney is very dangerous, especially on that uphill finish. I think the girls are going to have to be watching her.
Obviously, see there Michaela Surtees as well, now riding for the Cycle Nations team with Jo van der Winkel, which is going to be a really strong team as well. But exciting to see the ladies just riding so hard, and just 42 ladies on the start line this morning. We're keeping up with the percentages here at Premier League South Africa, where we've got close on 40% of our field is a ladies field, which is incredibly exciting. So well done, ladies. It's super cool to have you. Now we're down to Sam Saunders. Sam Saunders getting into the Zwift thing now quite nicely. Obviously, Teresa pulling the girls in. Kim LeCourt obviously riding a bit of Zwift, but not very familiar with the platform, and just getting better and better and better at it. So we're really excited to talk to the girls this morning, introduce the girls to you this morning, and have a chat with all of you. So that's going to be really, really cool. Let's quickly go and have a look at the results from last week and see what's happening, not only in the results from last week, but also the general classification. There we go, men's race.
Okay, there we go. So David Humphries obviously first, Ian Els second, and Marco Matthijssen, those top three in the men's there. Like I said, the GC classification, you see Avengers, they're leading. Rulia's one and Absolute Motion. So if you look at the gap between the Rulias and the Avengers, it's only 70 points, 68 points. So very, very small point. That bonus today is going to be very, very vital for those teams.
Nice to see Kent Main having a good ride as well. Pro Touch team, Brad Thompson in there as well. Gareth Kirsch having a good one. Let's quickly go across to the ladies and see how they're doing. And there it is.
So Jo van der Winkel, you were chatting about it just now. She had a good one there. Paris Edwards and then Michaela Surtees, top three there. Peak Ladies doing very, very well this week with Quebeca. Quebeca had a good start to the month, and then they actually lost Michaela. She's joined the other team though, so that was their big firepower, but they're still hanging on to second place. Super Girls Fire, they're coming up nicely, and then Cycle Nation, they're Galileo in fifth place.
All right, so nice racing, ladies, and looking forward to that competition just continuing to increase and get stronger and stronger and better and better. So right now, having a look at Sam Saunders, you can see there from the Galileo Infinity Spot Racing team, 46 k's an hour. She's 46 meters of climbing so far. She's doing 32 k's an hour, just under 4 minutes of racing. You can see the watch she's pushing out top left hand corner, around 220, 230 watts. So looking really good. What we're going to do today is we're going to introduce to you each of the three riders on the Galileo Infinity Spot Racing team. We're going to start with Teresa Rolfe, the captain and lady in charge of the team. Move across to Kim LeCourt, obviously from Mauritius, an incredible pedigree Julian Palmares there, and then across to Sam Sanders. This is a star-studded cast of ladies. These ladies are leading the way, and it's just so good to see this women's movement in cycling just getting stronger and stronger. So really exciting to get through the process with you today. Cycle Nation now, LaRue going through and getting a nice kick there and on the front.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously the girls quite nicely packed in together still. So obviously watching each other, the girls know each other and they know who the dangers are. This is where we just go up towards the top now, and then they're going to drop down into that valley. You'll see that at the moment they're sitting at a 4% gradient. So a little bit of a climb before they drop down into the valley, and then from there it's going to be very, very fast.
All right, so let's get into the guys or the girls in studio this morning. Studio 2 here with us at Sound Stylists, and really cool to have this studio just continuing to evolve. A very big shout out to our presenting partner, of course, Garmin and Tex, for coming in with those incredible Neo T2 trainers. The girls are absolutely loving them. Let's go quickly across to the profile of Teresa Rolfe. Let's show you a little bit of her palmares. So there it is there, racing for the Galileo Infinity Spot racing team. Spot a new partner on that team this year, and really cool to have them. Other partners within the team, of course, Liqui Moly, Liv, Powerbar, CycloWorks. She really loves getting into the Zwift world. She loves riding New York. She obviously enjoys the Watopia world, but also enjoys the glass roads above the city of New York as well. So there it is, Teresa Rolfe. Let's go quickly and have a quick look at her in studio. She'll be going guns blazing at the moment. There she is in the middle. You can see how hard she's working. We're not going to talk to her. We're just having a quick look there, see how the girls are doing. Kim LaCourte on the right hand side. She's out of the saddle at the moment. Teresa just turning down the watch. You can see how close those knees are to that crossbar. She really is all focus at the moment. Sam Sanders also working really hard at the moment.
You can see they're on that 7% gradient at the moment, and that's why they're working so hard. They really got to get out the saddle and get working. Sam obviously on one of those Shimano bikes that we've got today as well. So she arrived here with a mountain bike. Said, "Come on, Sam, let's give your heads a little help here," and put on one of those Shimano bikes, which is really great.
Absolutely, very big shout out to the team from Shimano South Africa, Nicola and Steve, guys. Those incredible Shimano cassettes on all the tax trainers, and really cool to have two bikes here in studio permanently for our guests to ride in case that they need to. Let's quickly go and have a look now at Teresa Rolfe. She gave us a little bit of an advice corner, a little bit about her, what she's up to. Have a look at this VT from Teresa.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Teresa Rolfe. I'm representing the team Galileo Infinity Spot. We race in the Premier League every Tuesday morning at Sparrows, and loving the next set of racing for the next few months. We're just coming to the end of February, and there is another whole month of March to look forward to. My team consists of Sam Sanders, Kim LaCourte, and myself. We are very, very lucky to have the amazing sponsor of Galileo Risk Infinity Spot being involved in the racing series. They also have supported us girls throughout the year, even in these tough times, and we've got great things to come for year 2021, and I'm looking forward to representing them there. So all you girls, I urge you to come and race, enjoy the Premier League racing online, enjoy Zwift, and have fun out there. At the end of the day, it is just a TV game, so don't get all worked up if things don't work and things don't connect. Just try again the next week. Good luck, everybody.
All right, just such an incredible character and personality, part of our community here at the Premier League South Africa. We're very proud to have her. You'll see there the new team. Welcome to Teresa, Kim and Sam to the Team Galileo Infinity Spot cycling team. There are their partners, of course, Spot, CycloWorks, Liv, Powerbar and Liqui Moly, and their title sponsor, of course, Galileo Risk and Infinity Insurance. Let's get back to the racing now, Al. Travis Johnson here from Ruliers. How are they doing?
Yeah, so there's been a bit of a split in the field. These are about 8 riders that have gone away. You can see them on the screen at the moment. They've gone away already. They've left the rest of the guys about 30 secondary. That was just the top point at the Aqueduct. That's where they just gone to that KM section there at the Aqueduct. So a very, very fast. The Ruliers are obviously saying, guys, we want that top step. We're going to take it away from the Avengers today because they've launched a huge attack there. And the guys are, everybody's, like I say, 28 seconds back already.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, that little hill, we spoke about it earlier. We knew that if the guys were going to make a break today, that's probably where it was going to be. So really good little break there from the guys at the front end. We've got Boniface in there, Johnson's in there, Porteous is in there as well. So the guys from the Rouliers are guns blazing at the moment and taking no prisoners.
So this is the second batch on the road now. So this is that chasing batch now with a lot of the GC contenders in here, a lot of the Rouliers in there. You can see all those green jerseys. They're riding those green jerseys, the Rouliers. So, you know, this is now the chasing bunch. So a lot of work out for these guys today still.
All right, let's get across now and learn a little bit about Kim Lacourt. Kim Lacourt joining the Galileo Infinity Spot Racing team in 2021, and you'll see there same partners, same sponsors, new lady on the block, incredible palmares. She has a list that goes from here to the length of your arm. Obviously, national champion from Mauritius as well. She's won many of the big races here in South Africa. She's worked nicely into that mountain biking space off the road, and obviously looking to go to the Olympics and represent Mauritius at the Olympics in 2024. So exciting times for her. She's been on Zwift on and off for about the last year. She doesn't ride it that often. She hasn't really got a favorite world within the Zwift world, but she really does love riding. Let's go and quickly have a look at the girls in studio, and you'll see Kim on the right hand side there. She's out of the blocks, and she really is working hard. All girls together. You'll see Sam very focused. You'll see those arms not moving a lot. Teresa as well, just keeping it together. You see Teresa just gearing down there quickly as they move on this hill, and Kim, I don't think I've seen her in her saddle once yet, but looking very good. Some things coming in there. Carla Giacchino coming in. Giacchino Cappuccino. Carla, good morning. She's saying ladies are on point this morning. Nice work, ladies. Good to have the comments coming in. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, those of you watching the live feed this morning, feel free to comment on our YouTube channel, and we'll be able to bring those chats into the discussion here on the program today. Let's quickly go and get some advice from Kim, a little bit about her, what she's about, and joining the team in 2021.
Hey guys, I'm Kim Lacourt and I'm part of the Galileo Infinity Spot Pro team. I've been racing Zwift for about, I would say, a year and a half. It's been helping me a lot throughout lockdown and all the COVID situation that has been happening lately, especially with now no races happening. The team is racing every Tuesday mornings on the Premier League, so this has been helping me a lot, and I would recommend everyone to not give up on the training and the progress you've made throughout the months, to stop training now, because races will happen soon. You must just keep on training, keep on thinking positive, and we'll see you all out there. Thank you.
Max, did you learn something there? It's Kim Lacourt. Did you see where we
say court.
We're South African. So maybe we should ask how to pronounce it, because I can pick up a bit of a French accent coming through there. Obviously, born in Mauritius and lived in Mauritius for most of her life. Should we ask her how to pronounce it?
We'll ask her. Maybe she can pronounce the name. What's it called again? Roule d'amour.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So exciting times. Cool to have Kimmy on. Flat cap looking good, and just such a great addition to the team. The first time that Hayden Simpson and the Galileo Infinity team has put together a team of three. That gives them a lot of options, not only in the one-day classics, but obviously also in the big stage races as well.
No, definitely. I mean, it does allow you to draw on more power. I mean, we all know riders have their strengths and their weaknesses, and sometimes, you know, depending on the route, obviously, you'll get the riders will, you know, and to have somebody else up in that front bunch to help you on your day, it just makes that much difference. So we're following Kim at the moment. You can see that's why she was probably working so hard. She's sitting in no man's land. I don't know if she's trying to get away or trying to bridge the gap to that front bunch.
All right, exciting as well. We spoke about it earlier. Very cool to see some riders coming in from the Africa Rising setup, headed up by Kim and Jock Boyer. Exciting to see Adrian Nyanshudi online today. Adrian Nyanshudi, 2 times Olympian, representing Rwanda, and just an incredible athlete. 2 times national road championship, RTT champion, 2 times national road champion and road race champion, and 3rd in the general classification of the Tour of Rwanda. So Adrian Nyanshudi, based in Italy now with his wife and their young son, and really cool to see them involved today. Also Yves Nkurunziza, he's from a semi-professional road cyclist from Rwanda, currently riding for the Benediction Ignite team, and really cool to see him on form as well this morning. Also here Didier Munyanzena. Didier was born in 1998, semi-professional road cyclist from Rwanda, currently riding as well for the Benediction Ignite team. So well done, guys. Michaela Surtees is now Cycle Nation. We're moving across from Quebec and into the Cycle Nation team this year.
This is that little point at the aqueduct now. So these ladies going through the aqueduct, that little kick in the road now. You'll see they'll turn left and they go through the highest point in the middle of the aqueduct. So a bit of a split in the field there. We can see also once again about 8 or 10 riders away at the moment, pushing down the pressure today, because it's a sprinter's dream today. The guys can get in the flat road specialists, they can get away. They need to put as much time between themselves and the climb as they can, because it's quite a steep climb at the end. So a lot of these riders, if they know climbing is not my strong point, I'm going to go hard in the beginning and try and see where I can try and get a bit of a gap, because the climbers it's going to favour the climbers towards the end.
All right, great to see Recorba cycling in the mix as well. Obviously, Ashley Milman-Pasio, that's her base in Spain, and Recorba is where her and her husband have this little villa where they take on cycling tours, cycling training. They do all sorts of cycling experiences, and obviously she is the current world champion at the UCI Esports Cycling World Championships last year, where she won the race, and she's obviously very excited about getting more South African ladies to join her and to help her in her quest to retain that title in 2021. So nice to see the Recorba cycling girls getting at it. Teresa Rolfe having a good ride at the moment. It looks like Amy McDougall's having a good one as well. Edward Shaw and Abby are all good. Van Zyl up at the front end. So the girls really riding hard. And again, a nice little breakaway at the front end.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, they're obviously trying to capitalize as much as they can. And I think we're going to see huge attacks coming on that climb towards the end. Yeah. So, it's a really great day of racing. And the girls have really, from when they first started, when we started the series almost a year ago, the caliber of racing has got unbelievably fast. We've had riders that joined us last year. They went away for a while. They came back, and all of them said to me they cannot believe how much the racing has improved in the short space of time, because the guys are really, really pushing very hard.
Got some jerseys going there, Al. 2 jerseys, one there for Teresa Rolfe, one there for
Courtney Webb.
Tell us about the jerseys.
Obviously the orange is she's leading the sprint at the moment, and then we've got the King of the Mountain there, which is obviously Courtney, because they went through that little King of the Mountain spot there.
Beautiful lavender fields in the background as well.
Yeah.
All right, so very exciting. Those of you just watching, those of you just tuning in, welcome to race number 4 here of the Premier League South Africa Community Series in February. It's the last race of February. The GC is going to get run up and down, and we're going to see a whole lot of changes today. Looking very forward to see how the guys and girls come out at the back end of this. But of course, this series wouldn't be possible without Galileo Risk and Infinity Insurance, our title sponsors, and of course our presenting partners, Garmin and Tax. We're going to go quickly and have a look at this little video for you from the team at Garmin Tax.
Limit is not in my vocab. If I don't have, then I find a way to go grab.
So there it is, and it just shows just how cool these trainers are. I mean, you get up in the morning, you've got your mates getting ready to go out, you open up the garage door, it's gusting, it's winding, you're just like, hey,
actually, in other words, if you're in Cape Town.
If you live in Cape Town, there where the mountain is flat and the water is cold.
Yeah.
So it just shows you just how versatile these trainers are. And the better and the more you use them, the more you get into this gaming environment, the more you realize just how clever these trainers are. I mean, that new Neo 2, that is incredible. The way that when you go on the gravel roads, it actually vibrates.
Even when you go across the decking at the marinas and stuff like that, it's really unbelievable. I'm going to take one home, I think, soon and test it out. But they are really unbelievable. And what's great about these, especially in South Africa, all South Africans will get this. If we have load shedding, that trainer has got its own built-in, it can generate its own power. So as long as you keep riding that power,
trainer will keep working.
It'll keep working, and you 100%. Can carry on with your workout.
What a pleasure. All right, next up, what we're going to do is obviously Liqui Moly, one of the incredible partners to Galileo Infinity Spot Racing team. They do so much for the team and so much behind the scenes. They're an incredibly passionate brand, aren't they? And their products are absolutely amazing. Let's have a quick look at their new Advantage app video, just to show you a little bit about how to access the platform, how to get involved with Liqui Moly, and how to participate in how they do commercially and how they work with their clients. Have a look at this quickly. So there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, that Liqui Moly Advantage app. Get it downloaded onto your phone. These guys are incredible. Their call centers are absolutely amazing, and their product speaks for itself. So really cool to have them as a partner, and thank you so much for continuing your relationship with the Galileo Infinity Sport racing team. Back to the racing now, and as you say, you know, when you open it up to the public, you get a whole lot of new names, a whole lot of new faces coming in. Now we've got a rider from China, Long, getting in there at the moment, and he really is mixing it up at the front end. Obviously very important, Al. A couple of things which people don't do enough. One is calibrating their trainers. Why do they need to do that, and how often do they need to do that?
There's a lot of literature that came out, and generally once a week, or if you ever move your trainer, because I mean you clean under your trainer or whatever, whenever you do it at least once a week, maybe Monday morning every time, calibrate your trainer, because it does go out a little bit, so your settings are out, so all of a sudden you're riding, it could give you false readings and that sort of thing. So obviously to keep things as accurate as possible, and the trainers are becoming more and more advanced as well. They're getting closer towards the wattage. I mean, they always come out with a percentage wise. So to calibrate your trainer, it just gives you a much more accurate ride, and obviously it's a lot more fair in the racing sort of game as well. The guys have to make sure that they do it when they're racing on the international circuit as well, because if all of a sudden your watts are out completely, Zwift Power will flag you and you will be disqualified. So you need to make sure it's right.
Some great racing here from the youngster Ian Else, a very talented young kid. We've watched him come through the rankings, Sprogs, juniors, youth. He really is racing really well, getting some real cool positions in the platform at the moment. So cool to see him racing so well. Let's also just talk quickly about Zwift Power and how important it is as a racer, someone riding on a Premier League South Africa. We're going to get more involved in the leagues. We're going to start hopefully bringing in more categories as well. At the moment we're running men and ladies, but going forward we're going to want to bring in those categories, watts per kilogram, and Zwift Power is going to be critical for that.
It is going to be critical. And obviously it's like a policing body. That's what it does. So because we're in a virtual world, we can't put commissaires on the side of the road. They cannot watch what's going on there. We cannot go and test somebody's bike if they mechanically doping or whatever. So this is where Zwift Power comes in. So if the guys are normally riding at 3 watts per kg, for example, and all of a sudden he does a race and starts pushing at 6-7 watts on average, then all of a sudden the guys will that's what Zwift does. It flags him, it brings it to our attention, that we can look at it obviously, and then make the call from there.
All right, so the guys at 19.6 kilometers at the moment. We said the total distance today at around 26 in total.
I just see the guys commenting. I don't know if you saw that G. Smith came up and said, guys, chill to the climb. So obviously breathing through his ears at the moment as well, trying to get in as much air as possible. So, so obviously because we're saying it's a virtual world, the guys can chat to each other. The teams will, you'll see a lot of them have earphones in when you cross to the guys, because they are chatting. So these teams are made up. Some guys in Cape Town, some guys in Canada, some guys in the UK, whatever, and the teams are built on that way, and they chat to each other with that Discord app, so they can chat. Otherwise they just can give out banter on the actual app itself.
Some great team management here from Carla Giancino, Joanna, Madeleine and Michaela doing their thing. The team is rocking. Nice work, girls. Great to have the comments coming in, guys and girls. Don't forget to get those comments to us through our YouTube live stream, and we'll be able to bring them onto the screen and have a little chat around that. All right, next up for you, what we're going to do is go into a profile on Sam Saunders, the third rider making up the team of Galileo Infinity Spot Racing. And there it is there. Same partners, same sponsors involved in the team. Really big shout out and thank you to those partners for buying into this dream team, this women's dream team here in South Africa. And she just loves riding her bike. She's come through a couple of injuries as well. She started Zwift last year during COVID and got into it a little bit more. She loves Watopia and she loves the 4 Horsemen route, which is her favorite route as well. Let's quickly go across to the girls, see how they're doing in studio at the moment. We won't have a chat to them. There they are, and working really hard. Sam Saunders, of course, on the left-hand side, and you can see she's working really hard at the moment. So nice to see Teresa again, just putting down the watch. You can check the focus, you can check how easy she is on that trainer. She's really used to that training environment, and Kim Lecourt just focused on that screen at the moment. So nice work, ladies. Keep it going. Let's have a quick chat to Sam Saunders. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself and her involvement in the Galileo Infinity Spot Racing team.
Hi everyone, Sam Sanders here. So my advice today is regarding mountain bike skills. A misconception I often find amongst riders is that just riding your bike is going to make you a better mountain biker. Of course, this is true to a point, but for the most part, if you want to genuinely improve your skill, then you need to actually set aside dedicated time to practicing skills. Mountain bike skills are like any other skill where you need to repeatedly do it until it becomes an unconscious reaction. So I normally follow a progression where I will define a specific skill and I will spend time practicing it in an open, safe environment where it's flat and I can focus on executing the movement safely before I take it onto the trails. Once I'm comfortable doing it off the trails, I'll then go try and do it on a trail where I'm traveling at speed. And again, I practice it until it becomes habit. Then I practice it until it becomes second nature. And then I continue practicing it until it becomes an unconscious reaction.
All right, so there it is. Practice makes perfect with Sam Sanders. Practice, 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 practice how you race. Race like you train, like you practice. You know the story,
Stick
Al.
to the plan and plan to race and
trust the plan.
race to the plan. Exactly.
Trust the plan, absolutely. All right, some great racing here. Van Heerden now working it up in the men's race. They've got about 4Ks to go, and nice to see the guys. Look at them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 8 of them now in that front bunch.
That's a huge gap. Look at 58 seconds back to that chasing.
Massive.
And we were just with that chasing bunch now. It is huge. So the guys at the back there, let's see if we can pull some of them in here. But you can see it's a very, very big bunch at the back there. These guys obviously all caught off guard this morning. That the guys launched the attack very early, and these guys, they just can't seem to close that gap.
There's that second bunch coming in now and chasing really hard, but as you say, 50 seconds is hard to get back.
Yeah.
Let's quickly go and have a look at some of the partners that make up this Galileo Infinity Spot racing team. Liv, of course, one of those incredible partners, supplying the bikes to the team. That lady-specific geometry is absolutely fantastic, and everything they do within that range is all lady-specific. So amazing to see that, and then thanks to Liv for coming on board again in 2021 to the team. Of course, Garmin Tax, the smart trainers, that Neo G2, which we've got upstairs in our studio here at Sound Stylists in Johannesburg. It is an incredible trainer. We can't speak about it enough, and it really is nice just to see the way that it integrates. It almost thinks for itself when you get going on it, and that Bluetooth interaction is super, super smooth.
And
so
very space age looking, eh?
yeah, it's beautiful. No, it's beautiful. There they are, of course, the Spot team, Team Galileo Infinity. And that is the new Spot Gen 4 device. All of these ladies have that device with them when they're riding. Obviously, security and safety just so critical to as part of what the girls do and when they're riding out there. So an incredible tracking device and looking after the safety, but also just the movements. And it's, again, a very interactive, very, very clever device. A big shout out to the team at Valverde, unique country venue in the Mulder's Drift area, doing weddings and functions. We're going to be with them on Saturday. They're also going to be the host of our 2 team time trials in the Cradle of Humankind this year. So to Kino and the team, thanks so much. And then, of course, welcome to Teresa, Kim and Sam joining the Team Galileo Spot Infinity Racing team. The Tax trainer, there it is there. You can see almost in the Premier League colours, the red, white and black as well. So
all planned.
all planned. All planned. All right, men's racing now on 23 Ks. So not far for them to go, just about 3.6 Ks left.
That's a chasing bunch. So the men, the leading guys, there we are, 23.6 kilometers. They are starting to approach that climb already, that final climb. As you can see, it's just kicked up to 7% already. So these guys are already starting that climb.
Absolutely. Let's go quickly and have a look at this VT from the team at Liqui Moly. It's about their bike care range, specifically the bike care range. They have such incredible ranges within the stable, but obviously for cyclists, this is very important. Have a look at this. Right, there it is, Liqui Moly, your passion, your results, and an incredible partner, not only in the cycling community here in South Africa, but across a lot of sports. They are really, really passionate about their sports and their sponsorships, and really cool to have them involved. All right, Al, back to the racing now. We're going to stay here for the rest of the men's race.
So Calvin Johnson launched a huge attack at the moment. You can see the other guys are starting to come back onto him now again. Look, just trying to look there. It's probably, I'm trying to see the gradient on it's just missing off my screen there. Probably about 1-2%. But he launched a big attack to see the guys have come back now. And so now there we go. So So he's responding. I don't know if he was just testing the legs to see, guys, who's going to come with me? What's going to happen when we go down to the sprint? And maybe he was just playing with the guys because he's still got 1K to go. So maybe a bit of an early launch there.
So 7 riders now. We've dropped one. Looks like one slowly falling off the back, which means we're going to be down to an elite group of around 6 riders at the moment. Van Eerden is there, Johnson is there, Amboza is there, Boniface is there, Smith is there, Travis Johnson holding on as well.
So Calvin Johnson gone again now. He has gone up. Brendan Van Eerden right behind him. We know Brendan can climb. Every time the routes get tough, you can see Ian Else is there as well. We've got Smith in the mix as well. That's Grant Smith. He's also there. Boniface mixing there. Travis Johnson as well. So not too far to go now. These guys got to climb up to the top now. I think it's 26 point, just over 26k, so not very far to go.
You can see those orange numbers coming in, which means the guys are really pushing out some proper watts at the moment. And remember, all results are basically managed and they are preliminary based on the results that we get from Zwift Power. If you're not on Zwift Power, you're obviously not in the results, but nice to see the rider from Canada, Boniface, getting in there, and Boza having a team having a good riders there as well with Ian Else.
So Grant Smith now, he's leading Boniface there. We've got Brendan Van Eerden, Ian Elson there, Calvin Johnson, Travis Johnson as well. No relation whatsoever. They just happen to be riding next to each other.
Looks like Long from China dropping off the back now as well. Mia Rona is off as well. Buerta off. Danny Spence a minute 9 behind. So this front batch has just obliterated
And
the
we
rest
know
of the field
Danny
today.
can climb, and this would have suited him. I think even last week with some, and every time I get to race, I need to actually plan the routes better, because every time I get to race, I seem to put the hard routes in. I don't know why. So, it was, so Danny, he loves the climbing, and unfortunately, I think he'll be kicking himself that he missed this break.
Yeah, important to get with those breaks, but when the guys are just putting on such form and really putting the watts down, it's so hard to go with them when you're also sort of trying to manage your overall result. What the rulers will be doing today as the USC Avengers, they'll be managing that expectation. They want to get that overall victory. There's a couple of solos in here coming from different countries as well. They haven't raced against them before. There's another big attack here.
Yeah, so Brandon Van Eerden, he's gone. Calvin Johnson now, he's responding. Boniface is there. Grant Smith now as well. So we know Brandon can climb. Brandon can climb from the Northwest Province. Well, there we go. Calvin Johnson going again. He's using that power up in exactly the right time. You saw that feather there. Makes him a little bit lighter on the climb there. So that's exactly the right time, and he got that power up there. So going over the top now, not too far now. He'll be crossing the finish line. So Calvin Johnson there. See the petite KM that he's just taken, and there's the finish line. I think that's the KM jersey there. Yeah.
All right, so great racing there. It's Johnson, Boniface, Van Eerden is what we can see at the moment. Congratulations, guys. A winning time there of 35 minutes and about 56 seconds. And the guys just ripping the legs off at the top end of the hill today. So exciting racing up front. Obviously a big break in the batches at the moment. We expect this. When you go public, you've got so many different people that can come into the racing.
Yeah.
And from our side, when we're following the live stream, we've got to go with the leaders. We've got to work with them. But we'll see what Zwift Power says and how the guys have done today.
Exactly,
so well done to the men.
Yeah. So, there were some huge numbers coming through that I saw there, so we'll have to go and have a check of that. I think there was even a bit of banter. The guys were having a go at each other, saying, are those numbers real? So this is back in the racing. We're going to see if we can find that second group on the road.
There's David Brown from Ceres having a good ride again this morning. Nice to have him on. I saw Emmanuel Sequeira riding as well this morning. So really cool to see those guys in the mix here today. This is the second batch. This is a much bigger match today. Mio Rana now from South Africa going through across the top, and he'll be finishing shortly as well.
Yeah, not too far. This is that second bunch on the road, so these guys are starting to come through now as well. You can also have a big split that you can just see. Look how they just spread out all over the place there. So these guys obviously really putting the hammer down, trying to capitalize, get as many points as they can. Look at this. This is that big group that we saw earlier. They are just shattered to pieces. So obviously the guys really went quite hard.
All right, let's get across to the ladies in Studio, see how they're doing. They'll have probably about another 4 or 5 minutes to go. Let's go and see how they're doing in Studio 2 upstairs, the green screen studio, and see what the girls are up to. So there they are now. You'll see that they actually putting the hammer down. Alice is going to get across to the ladies race and see exactly how they're doing and how far they've got to go in their race today. But with the men's time around 36 minutes, the ladies are going to go close on 40, I would think, today. Alistair just picking up some of those ladies in their group and see where they are at the front end of the race. We know that Courtney Welsh will be having a good race today. We know how strong she is. Courtney Webb, sorry. Sam Saunders now looking strong at the front here. She's in that leading group of ladies right up at the front. 42 ladies today.
She's about 35 seconds behind the leading ladies. This is that second bunch on the road. Here's the first Maud. This is Maud Leroux.
Okay.
This is that leading bunch at the moment.
All right, so Maud Leroux from Cycle Nation looking very, very good indeed. You can see they've got a couple of Ks to go. I think what we're going to do now is head across into that little short video from the team at Spot. All right, so two incredible short VTs there, one from the team at Spot, one from the team at Liv, of course, that very amazing, I don't know what else to say about it. The body geometry on those bikes is incredible, and the guys at Liv really putting it out there and showing the way when it comes to ladies-specific cycling. Back to the ladies racing now, Jo van der Winkel in the house. She's leading at the moment, just on about 2.5 kilometers to go.
Starting to attack there. Paris Edwards is going with this, so the two of them are trying to put everybody else into a world of pain there. Maud Leroux trying to come across there. I'm trying to see who's in there. Then it's Danette Shaw there and Courtney Webb. Teresa Ralph still in the mix as well, but they're starting to string these guys, the girls along at the back here. Now you can see it's starting to spread out quite nicely.
Absolutely. Michaela Surtees is now 14 seconds off the back. Amy McDougall 2:12. So you can see that elite bunch of girls at the front really going well, and then obviously just coming back. Stephen Williams saying, well done, guys and girls. Steve Williams checking in this morning, and nice to see you, Steve. Hope you had a good ride in the men's race today. Working up a sweat and a storm from Renee. Nice to have Renee chatting with us this morning as well in studio. But Jo van der Winkel now from the Cycle Nation team, just about 1.4 kilometers to go.
Yeah, launching again. She has launched again now. Let's look at see if somebody will go with her. I think she was testing. Paris responded just now, but now I don't see any responses at all. I think the girls realise we're racing for second today.
No, super strong. Let's get back to studio number 2 quickly. Ladies still very much in the lead group of 7 strong. Field looking good. Love the new setup. Let's go. There's a nice little split screen of what's going on. So you'll see on the left-hand side the avatar there of Jo van der Winkel as she leads it out now with about 1.2 k's to go. There's Kim Lecourt on the right-hand side, Teresa in the middle, Sam Sanders on the left-hand side. This is the Galileo Infinity Spot Racing team. It's a little soft launch here this morning in the studio for the ladies as they power towards the finish line. Leading the charge there for Galileo Infinity Spot Racing is Teresa Ralph, and she really is having a big ride today. Getting out of the blocks now. She's got work to do. She knows she's got Jo van der Winkel. She knows she's got Paris Edwards, and she knows just how strong they are. Let's go back to the racing and bring the ladies through to the finish line.
I can't see and why she's not showing up on my screen. Oh, there she is. There. Courtney Webb has decided she's trying to come across there. So more Courtney now on the attack. Now she's coming after Jo van der Winkel. So she's decided, now for this, let's go and sort this whole thing out.
Absolutely. And here they go now, just under a kilometre to go. Alice is going to bring us through to the finish line. After that, we're going to have a chat with the ladies in studio once they've got their breath back and tell you a little bit more about what's coming your way in the month of March.
So Jo van der Winkel, if you remember, the men came up here just now, not too far. They go up the top there, turn left, and then they got that finish line up at the top there. Paris Edwards now trying to come across there. Maud Leroux sitting on with her as well. We've got Danette Shaw, she's still in the mix as well with these girls. Teresa Ralph is there. Michaela Surtees is in the mix as well. Courtney Webb also there. So all trying to get across that gap, but it just looks like Jo van der Winkel is too strong once again today. She's just opening that gap all the time.
Absolutely. And we look at the Palmares of some of the ladies here today. Absolutely incredible. We know just how strong the Galileo Infinity Spot Racing team is. Obviously, 2 times Absa Cape Epic red jerseys winners in 17 and 19. Cape Pioneer ladies winners in 2019. 5 times Trans Bibiance ladies winners in 15 to 19. 2 times Joburg to Sea and 2 times Sani to Sea stage winners. So incredible Palmares with this team here today. We really are fortunate to have the ladies joining us. Here's the finish, Al.
Yeah, so not too far there. You can see that red arch across the road. That'll be the finish. That's the top of the mountain. That's where it finishes there. So Jo van der Winkel taking the win today. It looks like Paris Edwards will be in second. There's Teresa Ralph, who's going to just drop back so we don't get kicked out the game. So Teresa Ralph still coming up the climb at the moment. Michaela Surtees also losing some time today. She had a brilliant year last year. She battling to find her legs this year. But she has signed some new teams. She'll get racing now. Also, once the racing opens up again in South Africa, she has signed herself into a new team. But it just shows you how fast. I mean, that riders like Amy Beth McDougall and Kim Lecourt and all those have got ridden off the front bunch today. Just shows you how fast these girls were going.
No, absolutely. Incredible racing there from the ladies. Michaela Surtees, as we said earlier, moving across from Quebec to the Cycle Nation team. A good ride from her today. And then you're going to just see this big gap back to the rest of the ladies.
Yeah, it is. I'm just looking at the numbers. The girls blew this whole field apart here today. So really great racing. It's good to see that the girls are also embracing this whole thing and really saying we're here to win, and that's what it's all about.
100% right. And very cool to see a lot of new faces, a lot of new names in the platform as well. Every week we see new people. I think today over 140 men in the startup and 42 ladies.
42 ladies, yeah.
Really cool to see. There's Kim Lecourt now from Galileo Infinity Spot Racing getting out there and making her way towards the finish line as well.
Yeah, so I'm just looking evening, there's still lots of riders out on the road. Oh, there we go. We had Maria in studio. I just found Maria Gomez. She was in studio with us 2 weeks ago. She's with a group now. They're about a couple of minutes back on the road. You can still see that she's got about 3 minutes to Amy. So so this is another big group on the road. That's, like I say, what do they call them? The group Geppetto.
Yes, we've got Katie Longus in there as well. Low, we've got Cassidy Beck there. Nice to see Cassidy Beck back racing as well. So nice to see these little groups forming. Obviously, the course just totally ripping the legs off some of the ladies today. There were some very strategic points when they needed to break, and they did break. You see Gomez now getting ready to use that feather power up as she makes her way towards the finish line.
It's the correct time to use the power up. I saw one of the girls just now use the aero helmet, and the power ups. It's a gaming. This is a gaming platform, and if you use the wrong power up at the wrong time, it doesn't actually work. So I saw one of the girls on the climb use the aero helmet, and that's the wrong one to use, because that works on a percentage of how fast you're going. It makes you 25% faster. So
Absolutely.
if you're crawling up a mountain at let's say 10 k's an hour, it's not going to make you that much faster. That aero helmet is for the sprints. That is what it's there for. It's probably the most powerful power up that they've got on Zwift. Like you'll see all the sprinters love it for the and if you get it, and it's totally random. Once you get these power ups, once you get them, there they are. They're totally random. You can't go through there and say, oh, that's the one I want today. It's totally random. You can get anything. So yes, you can get the wrong one, and the best thing to do is get rid of it. Because if there are some races where there are 2 or 3 opportunities to get power ups, and if you've got a power up and you haven't used it, you don't get another one. So get rid of it if you don't want it. But today's the one that you want, the feather.
All right, let's go across quickly to a competition which has been run by one of the partners of the Galileo Infinity Spot Racing team. That, of course, is the team from Spot, and it is a Cape Epic entry. We'll get the little graphic up on screen for you. There it is. Follow Spot Africa on Instagram and on Facebook, and you can win yourself 2 entries to the 2021 ABS Cape Epic, which is from the 23rd to the 27th or 28th of October this year. Email adventurepick to competition@findmespot.com and get 10 entries and an option into that draw. But a fully paid entry.
Fully paid entry.
Absolutely.
You can win. What, can we enter?
Yeah, we can, because we're athletes, which is the right thing to do. So buy a Spot device and register. The first 100 entries to register go straight into that draw. So get hold of the team at Spot. If you need any information on that, check out our Instagram portfolios as well. You'll see all of that information there. And what a great initiative from the team at Spot. Well done, guys. Let's get back to the girls now. Sam Saunders nearly on the finish. Once she's come across the finish line, her and Kim should both be across. We'll jump into Studio 2 and have a chat to the girls and see how they enjoyed their race today. So Lou now going in, I think. Lucy Lou.
There we go.
Never knew these famous actors loved the Premier League South Africa so much. So what's coming away? Bronwyn Lewis here from Team Quebec, and nice to see her back in the mix and having a good race today. What an incredible human, and just been part of the community here at Premier League South Africa since day dot. We really do love the Quebec girls. Of course, Quebec are the charity of choice for us here at the Premier League South Africa. So Bronwyn making her way towards the finish line. What's coming your way in the month of March? Well, what we've decided to do is to keep the same schedule, the same racing platform as we did in February. You'll see there in March there's going to be 5 Tuesdays, and we're going to keep it public, we're going to keep it open. We just want to get the guys and girls involved, we want to get them racing, and then from the month of April we'll get a little bit more serious about what's going on and who needs to do what. Don't forget June, July is when the Tour de France takes place. Starts on the 26th of June through to the 18th of July, and that's going to be very exciting. And then in August we're going to be handling an African Continental Racing Series, not only for the elite, the pros and invited athletes, but also for everybody else as well within the African continent. It's an initiative from the Premier League South Africa in collaboration with Swift, and we're going to be doing the watts per kilogram categories as well for the men and ladies as well. So look out for that. There's going to be a very specific criteria to enter into that African Continental Series, but that will dominate the platform and the communication from us in the month of August this year. Jen Spooner from the Mega Team now making her way towards the finish line.
Yeah, I think it was Jenna last week sent us photographs saying, why is there nobody else on the start line with me? But I think it was an internet connection at home, and so she said, is the racing happening today? Because I'm sitting on the start line and there's nobody else around. And it happens in the gaming world. That's what we call like virtual punches or whatever, when you have an internet dropout or whatever. So yeah, she raced all by herself last week.
Crazy days as he comes to the finish line. Don't forget, guys, on Wednesday, which is tomorrow evening, Nikki Boyne's in there as well, the little red ant coming through nicely. Tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock, we'll do our post-month race rundown. Myself and Alistair will be talking about what's going on, how the racing went, what the overall GC results are. We'll be talking a little bit about March and what's coming your way. We'll be chatting with Chantal as well about some of the initiatives coming your way, especially for this week when we have that social out at Valverde on Saturday morning. So catch up with us tomorrow at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Jacques Leroux coming in saying, hi guys, how's it going here this morning? Really cool to have the interaction from the guys and girls on the live stream this morning. On behalf of us here, it's been amazing. We've got still some incredible stuff to bring you. We're going to go into some interviews now with Teresa and Sam as well as with Kim, so really excited to do that. But those of you tuning in, welcome guys. It's incredible to have you on the Premier League South Africa platform from all over the world, and of course proudly brought to you by Galileo Infinity Insurance and presented by Garment Tax. The what cookies now, Debbie at the game?
Canada. I think she's from Canada, Debbie.
Wow,
Oh,
nice.
no, Australia.
Is it Debbie or is it Debbie?
It's Debbie. I don't know. I'm guessing her name is Debbie. I don't know.
All right, so Sam Sanders nearly across the line. She's almost finished as well. We'll have a chat with the studio now and talk a little bit to the girls about what's going on, what they're looking forward to this year. It seems like there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Things starting to open up just a little bit.
Well, I mean, I saw there was a race this weekend as well, one of the XCO champs races this weekend. So, you know, the guys are starting to say, you know, it's time to open up, it's time to race. And that's what the guys want to do. That's what we want to do. We want to get out there and race. And that's what we need to do. And so it's good to see it's happening.
Absolutely. All right, let's get across to the studio now, Studio 2, and let's have a chat with the team from Galileo Infinity Spot Racing. They should all be finished. I know Sam is across the line as well. We'll probably talk to her last, and let's go full screen and chat to the ladies. All right. Hello, girls. How's it going, Teresa?
Hey Maxie, how are you doing?
Oh, very well, thanks, Teresa. How was that today? We saw an early break from the girls from the get-go. It was wicked.
So that I can give myself a chance, no surprises, know what's coming, and hopefully I'll get a better result, because when you're racing against girls who are so light on the bike and their climbs, you know that there's going to be massive amounts of pain. So for once I knew we were going to start on this climb, and I just gave my everything there and managed to hold on. And if you can hold on for that first, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes of the race, then almost there's a section in the middle that you almost get pulled along, and I took advantage of that.
All right.
So yeah, I just bled and then I managed to hold on.
Speaking of bleeding through your eyeballs, sweat drops coming out left, right and centre. Kim, how was that for you this morning?
I bled and I kept on bleeding. And it was fun. Not such a fan of the indoor virtual racing, but it's always nice to race next to your teammates because you don't get to do that often yet. No, it was awesome. I just went out there and tried to have as much fun as I can, and I did. So, yeah.
Well done.
Can we ask Kim, can you pronounce the name of the route first, Kim?
It's Roelmappoel.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said from the get-go. Roelmappoel. I told you there was something about a swimming pool in there. All right. Sam, on that Shimano bike this morning, obviously getting set up this morning. How was it for you today? How did it go?
A little bit uncomfortable on a very foreign bike, and I just noticed my pedal skew. But yeah, it was really fun. It's a really cool environment, and just lucky to watch T and cheer her on. She was power. So yeah, I think it's an awesome initiative.
That is. T, so cool to have the girls together in studio. I mean, a little soft launch today. Obviously, Saturday we'll be out at Valverde and we'll be meeting some of the peeps as well. But let's talk a bit about the team. You've been involved since 2015. It's been something that just continues to grow, continues to get that movement in the media. And now a team of three, before just a team of two, yourself and Sarah. Team of three is going to add a whole new dynamic to the team in 2021.
Oh, it's going to be a very whole dynamic. We've got some young blood, some medium blood, and some old blood. And yeah, we've all got strengths and we've all got weaknesses. And when the team is bigger, I suppose you can help each other with your weaknesses and in the end, develop an even stronger team together. So
Absolutely.
looking forward to learning more.
Kim, good to have you on the team. Obviously, we spoke about the young blood, but obviously lots of experience coming in as well from Mauritius, spending a lot of time in South Africa, incredibly strong on the road, starting to really enjoy the mountain biking. I see you got a cup win on the weekend on the cross country. A focus for you, of course, cross country, looking to represent Mauritius at the Olympics, possibly 2024?
Yes, I haven't raced a cross country race since 2013, so it was quite a shock to the system, and I was very nervous. But yes, I'm focusing a lot on cross country, state races, very little on road. Obviously we're going to be doing the big road races, if it does happen, hopefully it does. But yeah, looking forward to learning from those two very experienced riders and super excited for the season.
Absolutely. Sam, obviously team vibe is so important, and just having those connections and those confidence within the team. Friendship's super important as well. You've won some incredible victories and some great Palmares over the years, both on the mountain bike, in the marathon space as well, but also, you've taken on pretty much anything on two wheels. You still love the mountain bike format. Coming back from injury, focused for 2021. Are you excited about joining the new team?
Yes, very. So it's a very different atmosphere or sort of dynamic to my previous team, but it's cool to experience something new. Obviously, I know T really well. We've even raced together previously, and with her comes a wealth of knowledge. But she's also really great in guiding the team with just like the professional side of the sport, which is great, and I think that's something that South African cycling as a profession lacks, is someone to mentor and guide. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really cool year for us, and I think we're going to rack up some really cool results as well.
Fantastic. T, I think just to finish off with you, obviously to be the captain of a team like this comes with responsibility, and as you say, you've got youth and exuberance and experience on your side, but nothing like this is possible without having the right partners in place. And we spoke about the vibe, we spoke about the friendships, but we find as well that you've partnered with people and partners who are passionate about their brands and passionate about doing things properly in a very unique environment, which is a women's only pro team.
Yeah, you say that I'm the captain, but I think everyone adds their bits to the team, and we balance the load equally. So, it's more like teamwork, not someone taking on all the responsibility and guiding. It's teamwork going forward, and that makes the team even stronger.
All right, absolutely. Well, from our side of the Premier League South Africa, thanks as always for getting involved and being such a strong part of the community. The very best of luck to the Galileo Infinity Spot Racing team for 2021. We're looking forward to some incredible results. We'll definitely be keeping our community up to date with those results as we go through the year. And thanks so much for joining us in studio today, girls. We really do appreciate it. We'll have a chat with you just now and a couple of cups of coffee. Cheers, girls. Bye-bye. Give us a wave. Say hello. Cheers, girls. Bye-bye.
Say bye, not hello. Say bye.
Oh, yeah, bye, hello.
Bye.
All right, so back to the screen now. Obviously, this weekend we did speak about it. We are going to Valverde. There's going to be a little Premier League South Africa social get-together. The first time we've been able to get together this year. There's going to be a ride through the cradle for the mountain bikers and the road riders between sort of 6 and 8 in the morning. And then we'll come in and have a light breakfast and a couple of questions and answers and a little chat with the community. Obviously, all COVID restrictions and protocol observed, but it's going to be really exciting. Let's just have a quick look at that incredible venue that is the Valverde Eco Estate. So an incredible venue, and Kino Valverde, obviously from our community, racing in the Premier League with the Ruliers every week, and really cool to be able to support him from our side. A lot of questions we get, Alan, we talk about this a lot. You know, coaching is a very specific thing. The best cyclists don't necessarily make the best coaches.
Exactly.
You're in the coaching environment, you know how important it is to have those relationships. What must an athlete look for, just quickly, before we go and have a chat with Jean de Villiers? He is Teresa Rolf's coach and has been for a long time, and he understands her intimately. How important is that coach-rider relationship?
It's very important. Obviously, it takes a while, you know, when riders change from different coaches and stuff. You've got to get to know your coach. You know, other guys, they expect it. And we see it with the Springboks as well. And you know, when they go out, there's a new coach, we're going to win this weekend. It doesn't work like that. You've got to build a relationship. You've got to build the trust. You've got to be able to trust the systems, because every coach has got a different way of working. So, you know, where some will focus more on certain things where others don't. And you know, you're trying to build, and most riders need to know that their coach wants the best for them, because obviously the rider does well, the coach does well as well. And that's, you know, that's, we live through our riders, because we're too old to still do things like that. So they're important, and the trust from the rider, that the rider needs to trust that the coach is doing, you know, everything in their best interest, and that's what's the most important thing.
All right, so we had a chat with Jean de Villiers, the coach of Teresa Rolf, earlier this week. He's put together a little video for you. This will be quite important for those of you wanting to get into that space. He's very analytical. He trusts the numbers. Let's have a chat to see what he's got to say.
Hi, I'm Jean de Villiers, and I'm fortunate to work with the defending Epic Ladies South African champ Teresa Rolf. Here with a couple of tips for you today for racing on Zwift. So racing on Zwift's always been there, but popularity's really kicked in with you know, all the global lockdowns. And there are some differences between racing on Zwift and racing in the real world, obviously. And if you understand those differences, it can help you to play out your race tactics on Zwift a bit more effectively. Team NTT brought on a lot of the, or a handful of top pro Zwift racers to consult with them before racing on Zwift, and I think their success really showed in the results there. So let's start at the beginning. Most of the races that the guys get involved in on Zwift are anywhere from 15 to sort of 30 kilometers. It's in that area, and you'll notice at the starts the races go out really hard. The first tip is, when there's about 15 seconds left on the clock, start spinning your legs up. The goal is to get to about 120, 150% of FTP by about 5 seconds to go, then hold that. The idea here is it's easier to be at the front of the pack and then slowly drop through as you ease off than it is to work to get through, plus you don't have the risk of getting dropped or gapped in between. Zwift, it takes a little while to understand, you know, it's whether it does that half a pedal stroke mean the rider's looking to go forward, or, you know, is it just a bump? So it's often better to be at the front for the start and then fall to the back. That kind of brings me on to the second point, is that Zwift spends a lot of time in their algorithms trying to figure out what it is that you are trying to do. And there is a sticky zone. So when you're working in a draft, you can work in that same draft for typically around 10 watts, maybe even up to 15 watts in some cases less. Zwift will give you sort of a forgiveness against that, so that you can stay in the zone. The idea there is you want to be using the fewest possible watts before you see the little meter go, gap opening up 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters. Obviously, bike racing is a game where the person that pedals the least, but when they pedal the most, usually wins. If you can be in the mid-race using less watts, 10 watts, that adds up over time, and hopefully you'll be fresher at the end. The last little bit of advice comes towards the finish of the races, but it involves management throughout. So if you're racing in races with power-ups, especially in crit races where you can get up to 2 per lap, what you really want to be doing is cycling through those power-ups each lap so that you can get a fresh one and a new one. Not all power-ups are equal, some are better than others, and the very best one to have typically, especially in flat races, is the aero helmet. For races that finish up a climb, a feather is super useful. So if you've got a multi-lap race, for example, in a crit, the idea is you want to be cycling through all your power-ups to go, if you've got 10 or 12 laps of a crit. But when you get to about 3 laps to go, you want to look out for the ones that are really valuable and can help you make that last push and the difference on the last lap. So as I said, figure out what those high priority power-ups are for you in your particular race. Cycle through all your power-ups so you're getting benefits, and when you're getting into the last 20% of the race, start holding on to that one, because that one can be the difference between winning a sprint and taking a fourth in the pack. Cool. So that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of your racing, guys. Cheers.
Right, thanks very much to Jean de Villiers, coach of Theresa Rolfe. Some very valuable input there.
Definitely, Max. And we've been saying a lot of that on the broadcast as well. Get to learn to play on the platform. Know exactly how this platform is working, because it's different to the real world scenario. You're not sitting in the bunch with the person next to you, and you can't read their facial expressions and that sort of thing. So learn how to play this game, and it'll reward you.
Absolutely. So that's it. That's a wrap up for us here on the last Tuesday of February here at the Premier League South Africa Community Series, brought to you, of course, by Galileo Infinity Insurance, presented by the team from Garmin and Tax. A very big congratulations and welcome to the team from Galileo Infinity Spot Racing for 2021, to all their partners, of course, involved in that space: Cycleworks, Lives, Powerbar, Liqui Moly and Spot. Guys, congratulations. And then, of course, to that incredible supporter of cycling in South Africa, the team from Galileo Risk and Infinity Insurance. What a great day it's been. Yeah. Really cool to have this little change in the dynamic, and very proud to be able to present this soft launch of the team here for 2021. We look forward to seeing those of you that can make it in the cradle on Saturday morning, and it really is going to be amazing to get together for the first time this year.
Yeah. What I have heard and I saw on the RSVP list is that Chantal says she's riding on...
Stop it. No.
Stop. She's going to come up with some excuse that, it's whatever, that no, somebody's got to pour the tea when the riders get back.
All right, so there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Quickly, let's go and have a look at the community news from the week here off our social media platforms. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Premier League South Africa. Sam Zonders coming in there on the left-hand side. Her first experience on Zwift in 2021. Felt like a shore break dumped her into the sand. Nice to see there some work there. Courtney coming in with some stuff there as well on the community side. Sarah Hill talking about her cat getting involved in the racing in the morning. Nice to see the schools. How's the schools racing going, Al?
So obviously we had our first test 2 weeks ago. The next one is on the 13th of March. Some great numbers coming through from the youngsters. I'm excited about it.
Great initiative. Big shout out to Cycling South Africa and the School Cycling South Africa. Obviously lots of development happening in that space. It is a very new space and a very new category for them as they start to innovate and bring in that grassroots implementation of Zwift, looking at things like Zwift kiosks in the communities which have been selected through the program. So that's very exciting, and those things will come. And then, of course, happy birthday to our favorite lady, Theresa Rolfe. Her birthday on Saturday. Danny Spencer's birthday on Sunday. So
Danny was Friday.
Was Danny Friday? I thought it was his birthday weekend. All right. So guys, happy birthday to both of you. We hope you guys had a great day. From our side here at the Premier League South Africa, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you all in the month of March. Remember, it is going to be public again, and it is free entry. All you've got to do is get entered.
So talking about birthdays, it's my daughter's birthday today. Happy 12th birthday, my darling.
What's her name again? Kaylin, happy birthday from all of us at the Premier League. We hope you have a very, very special day. Thanks for lending us your dad early this morning. That's a wrap from us, guys and girls. Cheers. We'll chat to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.